Hello, how's everyone doing? This is Oz from Oz Mechanics, and today I'm going to be making a video on say if you have a vehicle that does not start and you just want to do a quick diagnostics on it to figure out exactly what's wrong. I'm going to give you my easy steps on what to do when I get a vehicle that doesn't start. There's quick diagnostics. Like I tell everyone that on my page, if this gets a little bit too complex or it's just a little bit too much, always try to find a mechanic. But if you do know a little bit about automotive, you can give this a try and hopefully save you a little bit of money. But here's the steps that I go through, and I'm going to show you the tools that I use to do a proper diagnostic on the vehicle. And remember, vehicles are a little bit complex. They're not, easy things to work on. Even some mechanics have a hard time. So if all these check good, you might have wiring issue, ground issues that might be not be connected right. Computer, it can just go on and on and on. I've made videos on that too. I made a video on the ground wire that caused the vehicle not to turn on. Computer ones as well with the PCM. I think the Jeep Cherokee one was the Nissan with the ground wire. And yeah, so let's get going. So here you go. So my main thing when I start working on a vehicle, I want to check three things, because every vehicle is the same, and everything that has an engine is around the same. Gasoline engine, you need a spark to be one, you need compression, and on top of that you need fuel. So it's going to be three things that you're going to need: spark, compression, fuel. So we're going to go from the easiest thing and move on to the next. Alright, so first of all, what I want to check out is, do we have compression? Is the engine seized up? First of all, if the engine seized up, that's gonna just call it right there. You're done. It needs a brand new engine. Timing belt broke. We're gonna check that out. So the easiest way for that is just to crank the engine. Normally, when you crank the engine, and you can hear kind of the engine rotating and giving that extra little power to actually give the revolutions, that's when you know that you have a good engine. If you just turn the engine and it sounds completely dead, like that, best representation, it goes like that. That means that you probably have a bad timing belt, broke or something like that. If you click and it doesn't do anything, you might have a seized engine. But don't say right off the bat it's a seized engine. Hey, can be a starter too. That's why it's clicking like that. So the best way to do that, get yourself a big pry bar and then try to turn the crank. The crank is going to be on the bottom side. So you got the crank on the bottom and then the cam on the top. So you're going to try to turn the crank. If you can turn that, then it might be your starter. So that's going to be the first thing, compression. The other thing that you can use is a compression tester. You got these right here. You take off a spark plug, and basically you screw this on onto the spark plug hole. You screw this onto the spark plug hole. You see right there, it shows a PSI from 130, 60, 90, 120, and all that. Alright, so what you do when you hook these up to the spark plug hole, you crank your engine on, make sure that you have your foot all the way down to the gas, but remove the relay. That's going to be the fuel pump relay, so it won't turn on you. So if you get at least like 180, 160, 210, you got good compression. So if that checks out good, then we're going to go to the next one right now. You can go from spark. You got my spark testers right here. I use a light. You can use the incandescent light. I just pulled this one out because that's the one I found. Or you can use a spark tester. On these spark testers, they actually have a number on there. If you watch my spark tester video, it shows you how to do that. But in the incandescent light, the only thing you got to do is pull off the spark plug wire or coilover plug, and hook this part to the ground, and then have this right next to the spark plug wire. If it starts arcing, most likely it's not a spark issue. Like I said, you can watch my spark video. It shows you right there, and it's a pretty easy test. If not, like I said, you can buy this tester right here. And then now, the last but not least, fuel. You got the fuel pressure gauge right here. Every car is different on the fuel pressures. What you can do, you can Google, but what I learned from someone, and this is a cool little trick, you can go up to your local library, look for ALLDATA or Mitchell on the computer, and it basically is a database of all vehicles and all specifications. So if you can get in one of those, get the specifications, that'll be great. So I'm going to show you where you can hook this up to. I think I had a video on the Silverado fuel pump, how to test that out. But I'm going to give you, show you right here. On some vehicles, they have what's called the Schrader valve. Let me see if I can get this. I'm going to try my best to show you. If you can't see it, I'm sorry. But right there, that's the Schrader valve. I'm sorry if it doesn't show. Trying my best to show you right there. Putting my finger on it. That Schrader valve, it basically looks like the little valves from your tire. And what you do, you screw on this piece from the fuel pump, fuel pressure tester. You hook it up to there, and it tells you how much fuel pressure you have. So if you can get the specs on it and it shows good fuel pressure, then you're good. Some GMs, it can show 45 and it's still not going to start because it needs around 60. And those are on, I think, 2001, 2002 GMC trucks. They have a different fuel injection control. It's just different. It's not fuel injectors. It's called I believe it's a CPI, central port injector, and you need a little bit more oomph to start that one out. But yeah, that's what you have on this. Some other vehicles, like on the Fords, the Schrader valves are a little bit smaller, so you got to put an adapter to it. Some Hondas, you're kind of out of luck. You have to buy a better kit to check that out. But that's why I brought this right here. So you can just use it. Don't use too much. You can use some carb cleaner, spray it in there in the boot, and just see if it cranks on. If it cranks on, well, you know you have a problem with fuel. So don't just spray all the way in there. Just give it a couple of sprays. Tell someone to crank it on, and if it cranks on, then you have a fuel issue. So that's what we have here. We have to test fuel, to test ignition, and to test compression. And like I said, if everything checks good, you might have another issue, computer, wiring issue with the ground. But look, I make these videos to help people out there. So if you do have an issue, hey, send me a message. I'll try my best to get to you. If you do like, please thumbs up, subscribe, and share. If you don't like something, please let me know. I know sometimes I have people that just put some nasty stuff out there. But if you have something, before you put the thumbs down, let me know what I'm doing wrong, and I'll try my best to fix it up. I know this video is not that good. I'm really trying to invest a little bit of money so I can buy me a nice little camera to help y'all out right there. But hey, have a nice day, and peace on. Bye.